So you think winter camping is just for the hardcore survivalists? Think again. What if I told you that with the right tent, you could be cozied up watching the snow fall outside, feeling warmer and more comfortable than you do in your own apartment sometimes? Today, I am diving deep into the world of winter camping tents, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one is right for you. We'll count them down from number 6 to the absolute best of the best at number 1, so stick around. 6. Ayamaya Easy Pop-Up Tent. I know what you're thinking, a pop-up tent for winter camping? And you're right to be a little skeptical. The biggest selling point of the Ayamaya is, of course, the setup. It's ridiculously easy. You literally take it out of the bag, give it a toss, and boom, you've got a tent. For those who dread fumbling with poles in the cold, this is a dream come true. It's also surprisingly spacious. They say it's a 4 to 6 person tent, and while that might be a bit of a stretch with full winter gear, you can comfortably fit a couple of people and all their stuff. The vestibule area is a nice touch, giving you a spot to leave snowy boots and wet gear before getting into the main sleeping area. But here's the thing. While the Ayamaya is a fantastic tent for casual, fair weather camping, it's a bit out of its league when it comes to serious winter conditions. The pop-up design, while convenient, isn't the most robust in high winds. I had this thing out on a blustery day, and while it held up, I was definitely a bit nervous. The fabric is waterproof to a decent level, but I wouldn't want to be caught in a multi-day downpour or heavy, wet snow. It's more of a winter-ish tent. Great for a chilly autumn night or a calm, frosty evening, but I wouldn't bet my life on it in a blizzard. 5. Clostnature Libra Lightweight Backpacking Tent. Now, this tent is a step up from the Ayamaya in terms of its winter capabilities. It's a 4-season tent, which means it's designed to handle more challenging conditions. It's also a backpacking tent, so it's much more lightweight and compact, which is a huge plus if you're planning on hiking into your campsite. The setup is pretty straightforward with a classic 2-pole dome design. Even if you're setting it up in the snow with gloves on, you won't have too much trouble. The Clostnature Libra does a good job of balancing weight, price, and features. It's got snow flaps, which are great for sealing out spin draft and keeping the tent secure in the snow. The materials are decent, with a good level of waterproofing that will keep you dry in most situations. It also has 2 doors and 2 vestibules, which is a fantastic feature in a 2-person tent. It means you don't have to climb over your tent mate for a midnight bathroom break, and you both get your own space to store your gear out of the elements. However, the Clostnature isn't without its faults. While it's marketed as a 4-season tent, I'd classify it more as a 3.5-season tent. It'll handle a bit of snow and some wind, but I'd be hesitant to take it into a serious alpine environment. The poles are aluminum, but they don't feel as burly as some of the higher-end winter tents.
Number 4. GEERTOP Ultralight 2-person backpacking tent. This is another 4-season backpacking tent, but it feels a bit more robust than the Clostnature. The GEERTOP has a really solid feel to it. The fabrics are tough, the stitching is clean, and the aluminum poles feel like they can take a beating. It's a double-layer tent with a snow skirt, so it's well-equipped to handle snowy and windy conditions. I had this tent out in some pretty gusty weather, and it barely flinched. The guy lines are well-placed, and once you have it staked out properly, it's a very stable shelter. The interior of the GEERTOP is surprisingly roomy for a 2-person backpacking tent. The dome shape gives you plenty of headroom, and you don't feel like you're right on top of your tent partner. Like the Clostnature, it has 2 doors and 2 vestibules, which again is a huge plus for livability. The vestibules on the GEERTOP are a bit larger too, so you have a little more space for gear storage. The setup is quick and intuitive, and the color-coded poles and clips make it a breeze, even in low light. Now you're probably wondering what's holding the GEERTOP back from a top 3 spot. Well, while it's a very good tent, it doesn't really excel in any one area. It's a jack of all trades, master of none. The ventilation is better than the Clostnature, but it's still not perfect. On very cold nights, you can still get a bit of condensation.
3. ShinHye Canvas Bell Tent Yurt Tent. This is a completely different beast from the tents we've looked at so far. This isn't a backpacking tent. This is a set up a base camp and live in luxury kind of tent. The ShinHye is a beautiful, classic canvas bell tent that just screams glamping. It's incredibly spacious, with a high ceiling that you can stand up in. You can fit multiple cots, a table, chairs. You could practically host a dinner party in this thing. The beauty of a canvas tent is its breathability. Unlike the polyester and nylon tents we've looked at, canvas allows moisture to escape, so condensation is virtually non-existent. It also has a really nice, natural feel to it. There's just something about being inside a canvas tent that feels more organic. The ShinHye is also a 4-season tent, and it's built to last. The heavy-duty canvas can handle a serious snow load, and it's surprisingly wind-resistant once it's properly guyed out. But the real secret weapon of the ShinHye is the stove jack. This is a built-in, fire-retardant port that allows you to safely run a wood stove pipe out of the tent. And let me tell you, having a wood stove in your tent in the middle of winter is an absolute game changer. It's the difference between just surviving the cold and actually enjoying it. You can be sitting inside in a t-shirt, watching the snow pile up outside with a hot cup of coffee in your hand. It's an incredible experience. 2. Naturehike Dune Hot Tent. This tent takes some of the best features of the backpacking tents and the canvas bell tent and combines them into one seriously impressive package. The Naturehike Dune is a 4-season hot tent, but it's made from modern lightweight materials. This means you get the benefit of being able to use a stove, but in a tent that's much more portable than a heavy canvas tent. It's still a bit on the heavy side for a long-distance backpacking trip, but it's definitely manageable for a shorter hike in. The design of the Naturehike Dune is really well thought out. It's a spacious, dome-style tent with a large vestibule that's perfect for storing gear or even setting up a small cooking area. The interior is big enough for 3 people, and the high ceiling gives it a very open and airy feel. The ventilation is also excellent, with multiple doors and vents that allow for great airflow and help to manage condensation. The materials are top-notch, with a high level of waterproofing and durable aluminum poles that can handle some serious weather. Of course, the star of the show is the stove jack. Just like with the ShinHye, the ability to use a wood stove in the Naturehike Dune is what really sets it apart. It transforms the tent from a simple shelter into a warm and inviting winter oasis. And because the tent is smaller and more enclosed than the massive ShinHye, it heats up incredibly quickly and stays warm for a long time. Number 1. POMOLY Camping Hot Tent. This tent is, in a word, a fortress. POMOLY specializes in hot tents, and it shows. The attention to detail and the quality of the materials are just on another level. The fabric is a super durable, silicone-coated nylon that is completely waterproof and incredibly strong. The stitching is flawless, the zippers are burly, and the whole thing just screams quality. The POMOLY is a teepee-style tent, which is an incredibly strong and efficient design for shedding snow and wind. It's also surprisingly lightweight for its size, making it a viable option for backcountry trips. The setup is simple and fast, with a single center pole and a series of stakeout points. Once it's up, it's an incredibly stable and secure shelter. The interior is spacious, with plenty of room for a couple of people, a stove, and all your gear. But what really sets the POMOLY apart is its performance in the field. I had this tent out in some of the worst weather I've ever camped in. We're talking sideways blowing snow, sub-zero temperatures, and howling winds. And the POMOLY just handled it. It was incredible. Inside, with the stove going, it was a completely different world. We were warm, dry, and comfortable while a full-on blizzard was raging just a few feet away. It's in moments like that that you really appreciate the value of a high-quality piece of gear. The POMOLY also has a number of thoughtful design features that make it a pleasure to use. Final thought? That's all for today, folks.